Hey guys, it's finally here. What if Elder Dragons were in the Monsterverse? I know it took a while to actually get this done, but I do hope you guys enjoy the video and enjoy what's added to it. So, without further ado, let's begin and, well, let's actually explain it. This takes place 1 week after the alien invasion. Well, at least after the Orga fight concluded. Godzilla in his evolved state, Dalamadur in his Sha state, and Kong in his Thunder form have taken their resting places, finally being able to relax. However, the 5 meteors that I talked about earlier do crash land in obvious areas. However, Godzilla, Kong, and Dalamador are exhausted. Kong returns to the Hollow Earth to be with his family and his people. Dalmador and Quetzalcoatl bundle up and rest with their children, Apophis and Nazuki, and, well, they also know there's an issue. But before Godzilla and Dalmador rest, they turn to one other Titan who's actually helped them so many times. A Titan that still has alpha status, Yamata no Orochi. And they give him an assignment. He is to track down the meteors, at least one of them. If he can do the rest, go ahead. But he also needs to get stronger as he does. Orochi, taken aback by the two higher alphas simply doing this, nods and goes on his journey. Orochi is still kind of stunned by this here. The Titans are technically at peace, but the only Titan that was rebelling was really Abaddon. Skeela herself is actually well behaved and actually taken her resting place in the Arctic, actually making sure that glacial melting doesn't happen, meaning Skeela is alive. Keep in mind, Tiamat is alive as well, and she's resting in her lair along with her newborn daughter, Lahamu. So everything's going smoothly. Any Titans that are still out and about know very well to stay away from humanity, but if humanity attacks them, hey, there's no harm in self-defense, right? But Yamata no Orochi, or Orochi as I will call him from now on, has to really take a new responsibility. He's the in-charge alpha. Even though, yeah, he is an alpha titan himself, he just never really thought he would get this kind of time to shine. So the 8-headed dragon heads into the sea, and he begins heading towards the first energy signature, his strongest one. Seems like it's draining energy from the environment itself, but he keeps traveling, and this region, this area feels a bit unknown. And as he enters a different part of the sea, the water feels different. It's warm, but it's got like that cold, ominous feel to it. It's another creature's territory, and he knows it as well. He knows that there's another creature here, something powerful as well. Something that honestly shouldn't be able to rival him, but he sees it as he dodges two tentacles and sees Nakarkos. Keep in mind, all the Elder Dragons are just as big as the Titans themselves. Now, Nakarkos here should be around 300 feet long. Pretty big, pretty good size for him. And he and Orochi battle it out. Tooth to claw. Orochi's out of his element, but again, he's still strong enough to contend with him. Nakarkos fires off a powerful laser beam, powerful enough to either tear through one of Orochi's heads if he wasn't agile enough to dodge it. And this is where the tendrils also begin to add on to it. Orochi now feels like he has to do this. It's going to hurt him, but it's also going to hurt and possibly even kill this nuisance of an Elder Dragon. So when the Nakarkos wraps around Orochi's body, he's about to close the distance, about to bite into his midsection, mind you. But this is where Orochi's head all of them aim looking right at the mouth of the Titan. And they blast the Emperor's lightning right into his mouth. This causes not only an extreme amount of damage, but an extreme overdose of electricity. It harms and even tears into the likes of Narcarcos, killing it instantly. Orochi does get a little bit of electrical feedback, but he is fine. He's still able to continue. So Orochi goes on to the island. It's interesting. It's not like Skull Island where Orochi would have towered over everything. Everything matches his size, but he knows good and well this is a land that he's never been to. He's never seen God or even sensed Godzilla or Ghidorah even go near this area. Not even any of the other Titans. Tiamat's a maybe, Nakika a maybe, but he's never sensed them go out this far. Which is why the water felt different. Huh. He thinks this will be a good place for him to maybe rule one day. He could use a new territory. Besides, it's not like the Japanese volcanoes doing anything, better. So he does begin to explore the land. And keep in mind, he's not really on shore yet. He's kind of like in that, I guess you say, underwater sand area. It's like he's landfall, but he's not on the land itself. Still kind of in the water, but at least where his legs are touching the ground. So it's kind of interesting. However, as he walks to the shore, or pretty much steps on land, there's a little bit of a crunch. And he doesn't notice it just yet because of how big he is compared to the small fishing basket that he just crushed. But he looks around and the place is beautiful. It's lush. A couple herbivores here and there. Perhaps he'll dine on one if he gets hungry. I mean, he doesn't really need to, but again, it's always good to try something. And this is where Orochi then hears something scurrying, if not something worrying. And then something bounces off of him. It's an arrow. He's like, what? What the heck? The heck is that thing? Then he looks at the inhabitants, the Navi, the Omatakayan, the inhabitants of this forest area. And he simply looks at them as if they're interesting. He had never seen beings like this, but the ones that are, well, I guess you could say similar to the Iwi. He knows of them. I think most of, if not all the Titans know them. But these guys seem so different, more warrior-like. And he's interested in them, but the two that actually see him and see that their weaponry isn't working, they flee. So he's just like, well, I mean, yeah, I guess that does kind of make sense. He is massive and more powerful than anything here, but whatever. So he begins to tread the forest, at least the areas where he can make a easy, if not a simple way through it. And he does intimidate some creatures. A Tobikadachi here, an Anjanath there. He does have to kind of puff his chest out and show his intimidation display when it comes to a Ebonio Dogoron that tries to get a little too close and is a little too curious with him. However, after a while, the pup does back off, or at least the ferocious crash out honey badger does back off here. Even a Rathian gives him a wide berth. However, Orochi is noted to be careful not to disturb her nest, taking much lighter steps. This shows the more ecological balancing side of Orochi. And he begins to creep closer to a different territory, but gets slashed on his side. Again, nothing more than a flesh wound. But the creature uncloaks himself and reveals to be a lucent Nargacuja. And this creature is quite formidable, just like the Narcarcos. And, well, the battle itself is intense. It's the first real fight Orochi has had on land. So a battle that, honestly, it's pretty good. It's good exercise. But again, the dragon is simply too versatile. simply too overwhelming. He tries to attack from behind and smacks the creature away. This finally getting the message that the Lucent Nagakuja is outmatched. However, this is where he inadvertently saves a young Navi child known as Took. And she's happy. She's happy to actually make it out alive here, as she kind of got lost for a little bit. But this is where someone tells her to come here, and that being her sister, Kiri. And Kiri points a bow at Orochi, but Took tells her, no, 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 this one saved me. To which Orochi simply stands proud, understanding the child. But they don't know him. Not really. He's still kind of the outsider titan, if you will, of the area. And this is where Orochi simply bends one of its heads down. Let's say it's the middle one, right? And simply nudges Took a little bit. I mean, it's a massive kaiju nudging you, so you might get knocked over a little bit. But Took ultimately puts her hand on at least the bottom chin of Orochi. And this actually does begin to cement the Titan's caring side, or at least the side he's learned to actually have a caring one. But with that being said, he has a mission to do and begins tracking the energy further. So Orochi goes deeper into the forest, this time having a brief battle with a Azure Rathalos. Again, brief here. Orochi's trying not to kill anything, but again, it does get painfully annoying after a while when you're trying to get something done here and you're just strolling through. But to be fair, he doesn't know that some of these areas are their territories. You live and learn. But Orochi himself does progress and continue. And, well, when he makes his way to where the energy signature is, he's a bit lost at the moment. And he's staring at something he feels like shouldn't be here for some reason. And he's like, what the heck is this? But as he scours the area, he nearly stumbles into it. The fall wouldn't kill him, but it's best not to risk any injury. Plus, there is water at the bottom. This crater, this canyon, it's interesting. What the heck formed it? But this is where he does kind of look at the outline of it. Okay, the meteor definitely was here, but where is it? There's no way that the meteor itself just... Did it go into the water? What the heck? I mean, where is it? And so this is where we kind of see the crater itself. It's massive. To which Orochi does step closer, taking his time, mind you. But he doesn't see the meteor itself. He knows it's down there, but he's not sure how deep the water is, and he keeps looking around to see if there is any other Titan within it. But Orochi decides that he needs to just simply find a way down and do it safely. So he walks around the crater and, well, utilizing his own abilities such as his fire breath and lightning, he does manage to kind of carve a path around the mountain so that he can get down here. However, as he reaches the bottom, he finds out he's actually standing on top of the meteor. And this is where he kind of just walks around for a bit, not realizing that he's disturbed something. But he senses it immediately and he rolls his eyes. Clearly annoyed that something would claim this place as his territory, but he shouldn't be surprised at this point here. However, he looks around and realizes the danger isn't the water itself. It's above him. Storm clouds begin to appear and begin to mold over the crater itself. And this is where he comes into contact with one of his first Alpha Titan level threats. And it's none other than
ominous clouds, torn apart, unleashing a torrent of rain. Then, an unrelenting typhoon, connecting the heavens once again. Finally, it shows its form, a hurricane made of flesh. Bringing death through gale and storm, a dragon god ready to thresh.